welcome back to Post Productions. Today we're going to be talking about the latest film in the Paddington franchise.
Yes!
We got Paddington in Peru.
Peru, baby! Woo! This is truly a generational time to be alive.
We've been waiting for this for a long time.
Especially you.
Holy moly.
You've been like, when that year comes, when it comes out, it's going to be a good ass year. Like, it's going to be generational. And holy shit, it's finally here. But anyway, Seamus, why don't you explain to the good fellows at home what Paddington in Peru is all about here?
Alright, so this is a follow-up to 2017's Paddington 2. Basically, Paddington receives a message from his Aunt Lucy.
Aunt Lucy?
She's missing him, bro.
Yeah?
She needs to see Paddington.
She wants to see him, dude.
So he packs up the whole family, and they go to Peru.
Yeah.
And when they arrive, Aunt Lucy's missing. Where'd she go?
Oh.
And then there's a whole bunch of mysteries going on. They're meeting ship captains and
that sounds strangely like Puss in Boots.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Totally unrelated.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. Then they go on an adventure in Peru and try and find Aunt Lucy.
Just a fun, wholesome adventure.
And and Antonio Banderas is in it.
Yeah, which is a plus.
Yeah.
And he's playing, well, can we say the villain? Kinda. You can say the villain.
I think,
yeah, we can say it. It's pretty obvious. But anyways, this movie, though, I'm gonna be honest, I really, really liked it. Like, I love the other Paddington movies, and we're gonna let you get some time to talk about it, too, because you have a lot of words to say about that, I'm sure. But I really freaking like them. And I was a little nervous when, like, the original director wasn't coming back. What was his name again? Paul King?
Yeah,
Paul
me
King.
too. I agree, yeah.
I was insanely worried because, like, it's no Paul King. Like, I think Paul King is really good at just making really wholesome and just really strong movies in general. Like, the first two Paddington movies, 10s. In my opinion. I love them both. Yeah. And then even, like, Wonka, we watched that one last year, and personally, I enjoyed it quite a bit.
It was good.
It was way better than I thought it was going to be. And I think that all has to do with Paul King's style. So when I heard that he wasn't going to be here, I was insanely scared. Same with, like, Sally, what's her name? Sally Hawkins?
Sally Hawkins. She got recasted.
Recasted. I wonder why.
I don't know what her commitment was. There was some other film.
That's what I heard, yeah.
It's like, what could be more
important than Paddington?
Come on, man.
Come on. You come off an Oscar win and you don't go do Paddington 3? Come on, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Crazy. Craziness. But I don't even know if they've announced what she's in. I haven't seen her in anything.
I'm not sure.
Maybe it's a Marvel movie. Maybe it's Blade.
Maybe.
It's not Blade. But anyways. But no, I really was kind of nervous about this movie. And I am glad to say that my worries are completely gone. Like, it was a great experience. Wonderful. But I know you have a lot to say. So I'm going to let you take over for a second here.
Man, I fucking love Paddington. I don't know, I just feel like they're such great films with great messages for families and for kids and for grown adults, apparently.
Yes.
I don't know, I really resonated with them. I remember, like, watching the first one, like, back in 2014, and we're like, oh, this movie looks so goofy and ridiculous. Yeah. And then we watch it, and it's like, holy shit, this is peak fiction.
This is the greatest movie I've ever fucking seen in my life.
Right? And then they came back with this Paddington 2, which was somehow even better.
They want to see me do it again, they said. And make it even better.
And they delivered on that, man. Holy crap. Paddington 2, that's in my top 5 of all time. Like, that's...
Like, yeah.
I adore that movie.
And it's funny, I love the culture around it, too. Ever since Paddington 2 came out, everyone just, like, culturally agrees, yeah, that movie's fucking amazing. Right? Even Nicolas Cage and Pedro Pascal were getting... They're getting high going, that was the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's true. It is so... well executed. It's so whimsical and imaginative in the way it's shot. The characters are lovable. Yes. They all have a time to shine. There's great villains. They're just so much fun. They're fun.
Great comedy too. I love
comedy.
Them. I feel like it's kind of hit or miss when it comes to family movies if it's actually going to be funny. But we watched the first two, like, leading into this movie. I was dying, like, the whole time.
Rolled the hard stare every time.
Aunt Lucy told me to do this to people who've forgotten their manners.
It's like, just so great. Iconic. It's so good, bro.
Yeah. I even like in the second one where he's like, Paddington, how old do you think I am? He goes like, 80. And he goes, 80! At least.
So funny, man.
Just little moments like that, man. It like, kill me.
Like, Paddington is like, he's so innocent. Naive. He says things and he does things. Like, no intention of, like, hurting other people's feelings or causing a ruckus, whatever.
There's not an evil bone in his body, and that's what makes it so wholesome, is when he gets into the situations that are just like, you know, he goes to prison. It's just like, how did this happen? And he says, I know, I was chasing the guys.
Like, who allowed this?
Who allowed this? Yeah.
I love too, like, a lot of the kind of hijinks he gets caught up in.
Yeah.
The way that they happen, it's like, it's just crazy. It's like some Final Destination or like Rube Goldberg type shit. It's like,
it really is,
dude. When he's at the barbershop in the second one,
that's what I was.
It's say. Like it's crazy, man. Just the mechanisms that like cause him to eventually chop his hair off. It's like this is wild. Like it's so creative.
Yeah, it's so good. Even like in the first movie too, like with the shower scene, like when he's like flooding the room and like he's fighting off like the shower cap. That's great, man. It's funny. I love it.
Yeah,
and I feel a lot of that does translate to this movie. Like a lot of that whimsical feeling, it's definitely here.
Absolutely. Like here's the thing: Paddington has kind of perfected a formula for it. Okay, because you're going to have a villain with some tie-ins to their family. They're trying to make up for their family's failures or something. There's a legacy aspect of that. They're going to have slapstick comedy moments where Paddington just does something and he makes a goddamn mess. That's going to happen. You're going to have it so each character gets a chance to shine based on their own unique abilities of some sort. Yeah, and then you're going to have just whimsical shit. And like they take that and I mean, all three of the movies have that. Yeah. But it works so well. Like,
does, yeah.
They kind of perfected it, and they're going to have Simon Farnaby, and he's going to be in the movie in some... One thing, I wish he was into dudes dressed as women again.
Yeah.
Why didn't they
What
do
was
that
about, bro?
Yeah.
It was generational.
I mean, I was
waiting for
it. Right? I was waiting for that, too. I was like...
Even the scene he shows, that's like for 10 seconds, not even.
Yeah.
It's like a really quick thing. I'm like, how the hell is he working on a pilot now? Like, how does this happen? He has the most like weird track record history of employment I've ever seen.
Seriously.
He worked at a freaking, what was it, the bank in the first one?
The Adventurers Guild.
The Adventurers Guild.
Yeah.
And then he worked at the freaking museum, and now he's working on like an airplane. Like, what is happening, bro? How do you get these jobs, my guy?
Right? I will say that was a huge moment. Like that's
True,
like the MCU cameo kind of thing. It's like, holy shit, he's there. I just wish he was there longer.
I wish he was too. Yeah. I wish Knuckles McGinty would have showed up, bro.
Yes,
man, Knuckles McGinty. There was the perfect opportunity to, which I won't spoil, but like closer to the end of the movie, there was a moment I thought it was going to be. Right? I was like, "There's no way," and then it's someone else, which is just as good personally. But I was like, "Oh, just missed it," but that's okay.
Yeah.
But no, like there is a formula here, and it works every time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, honest, I have nothing to complain about in terms of the formula.
No.
But I do feel, like, this time around, I feel out of all the Paddington movies, they do it the worst here. Like, it's the most... I don't even want to say bad, because it's not bad at all.
No.
I feel like it loses a lot of just some whimsy just because it doesn't have the original director attached, which we talked about earlier, is that a lot of that magic is missing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it doesn't quite deliver the visual style that Paul King can.
Yeah.
It's very good, but sometimes it does kind of feel like it's like, okay, they're imitating Paul King instead of it being like authentically Paul King's vision for it. If that makes sense. That sounds so pretentious.
Yeah. But it is true, though, to an extent. Like, I feel like with Paul King, he's such like a mastermind at just making things look so magical and whimsical. And we've said this before. Like, he has such a style to him that it's almost just like, it's so recognizable. And so when you don't have that, it's kind of like you can tell something slightly off.
Yeah,
like it's almost like
bit.
It's almost, this is a weird example, but it's almost like Sam Raimi, how he has a very distinct like sort of cinematography style, and then you go to a movie that doesn't have him, and maybe, I don't know, I can't make a good comparison, but like he's not there.
Yeah, but they're pulling from his playbook kind of thing. Like,
exactly.
And you can tell it's like, okay, yeah, it's like this, but it's not this, you know?
Exactly. It's every director, I feel like what makes a good director is that when you can just tell by watching the movie, oh, this was directed by Sam Raimi. Oh, this was directed by Paul King.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of movies like that. Like, as an example, like, you go in to watch Doctor Strange 1 opposed to 2, you can tell 2 is made by Sam Raimi. Just the way it's shot, which I think is the talents of a great director. But when it's not there in a franchise that he's made so big, it's kind of just one of those things where it's like, something feels weird here.
Yeah.
Something's off here.
And, like, the thing is, even if it does feel a bit off, it's not like enough where it's like, oh, this is no good.
Oh, no.
Because
it's still great.
Very, very good, still creative, it's just not quite at the the heights that Paul King has brought the franchise to.
Yeah, it's not a 10, unfortunately.
No.
Unfortunately. But even then, like, it's like slightly under. But another thing I wasn't a fan of. Man, the fact that Sally King wasn't in here, huge blow, man. I'm sorry.
I know.
Like, I wanted to give the new actress a shot. I can't remember her name right off the top
I
of my
think
head.
it's Emily Mortimer.
Yeah, she's not bad.
No,
but no Sally King. Mm-hmm. She brought like a level of like wholesomeness and like levity to that movie that was just so nice. Like she never got mad. She was just the traditional mom that was just super kind and everything that you want. And it's here too, but it's just not the same.
Not
man.
Quite the same.
It's not the same.
I don't know. I feel like Sally Hawkins. She just has the presence about her. Yeah. Where she's also kind of like eccentric and like.
Yeah, and goofy, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's missing something because she's not there. And we actually did talk about this too. I feel like she's slightly out of character at certain moments in this movie as well.
Yeah, there's like kind of this thing where she hits on the captain, on the boat captain that they hired to take them.
Played by what's his name?
Antonio Banderas.
And Puss in Boots.
Yeah, exactly. All right, and it just felt very out of character for her because she is like so devoted and loving towards her husband in the first two Paddington movies. So I don't know, that just felt kind of out of place. It irks me a little bit. Like it was still funny, like I get what they were going for, but it was like
it's like she wouldn't do that. Like I don't know, I would agree too. But, I mean, going into, like, something positive, if we're talking about, like, characters specifically, I loved Mr. Brown's arc in this movie, dude.
Bro!
He becomes more brave. That's the whole point of his character in this movie.
He's so goddamn good.
Dude, I almost low-key kind of shit myself when he opened the thing and there was a tarantula. Because his big thing is, like, he's scared of, like, the spider, like, the tarantula. Like, the purple-kneed tarantula. And he's like, oh, dear. Like, that looks terrible. And then at the last point in the movie, he has to confront it. And it, like, jumps on his face and just like, bro... braver than me. I would have been out of that plane. I would have jumped out of the goddamn plane.
They get the picture too.
Yeah,
that's just so.
The close-up of the spider nearly made me shit myself in the theater. I was sitting there like, I know it's coming. Don't do it, please. I don't want to see that, and it did happen. But I personally, if we're not talking like Paddington, he's my favorite character in the whole franchise. He's just so funny, man. He's just so wholesome and funny, and I love like, I'm a risk analysis, but in the third one, I was like, it's all bumpy and cool. Hip and dangerous, which I thought was great. Which at first I will say I didn't know how much I was gonna like that because I thought a lot of his charm was that he was like the overly safe dad, but I think it worked like because it was just funny, and considering like they're in like Peru, they're going on a jungle safari sort of thing. It made sense for like that's where his character would go, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was hilarious.
Totally, especially like since the first movie, like they've been building up for a while.
Yeah,
he's kind of like putting himself out there more and taking more risks and stuff.
Yeah, that's
true. It's a good like overall arc. Like you compare him at the beginning of Paddington 1 to like end of Paddington 3, and it's like he's changed so much.
Peak cinema, generational. As Martin Scorsese once said, peak cinema.
This is absolute cinema.
This is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
It's so good,
but it's true.
Another positive.
Yeah.
I loved both Antonio Banderas and Olivia Colman.
Yeah.
I thought they were excellent additions. They felt. I think all the Paddington films have great. It's kind of.
They're like side characters.
Yeah.
Like they all have really good side characters.
They have great side characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll have to cut that out.
Yeah. They won't know. Don't worry. But I gotta say, Olivia in particular, wonderful. Like, so funny, dude. Yeah. Such a great character. And as you watch the movie, because I'm not going to spoil anything, like, obviously. But, like, her whole, like, arc in this movie, like, I'll say it is kind of like, yeah, you expect it. But it's so funny. Like, just how they do it in the movie. It's like, oh, what's going on? Like, and she has, like, the only musical moment in the movie. And it's just, it all fits for some reason. Her character is such a welcome addition.
Totally.
Like, really. It felt so good.
Just perfect. Like, it's like, oh, yeah, this is the essence of what the Paddington films have.
Literally.
For the side character. I felt the same way
Genuine
about
perfect.
Antonio Banderas. And his daughter, I was like, these are great additions to the lore. Story.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I really like Antonio Banderas. I even liked his whole... Because he is the villain in the movie. And like we said, there is a formula, so like he has connections with his family. I thought how they did that all was very funny and clever and charming as well.
Oh my god, dude. That
was awesome.
The flashbacks in the black and white.
I forgot about that. the old miner just explodes.
And then the quicksand, they're like...
Yeah,
they just see him sinking. so funny, dude.
It's perfect. I love it. But yeah, I loved Antonio Banderas. And I also gotta say, too, without spoiling it, I loved the ending as well.
Oh,
I thought it was so cute and charming. Because you kind of think, it's like, why can't he talk? So then they kind of, like, explain why. And it's kind of like, oh, yeah. Well, I like that. Like, that's very nice.
They give him crazy lore in this movie.
They did.
Oh, he's like Bear Jesus.
He kind of is. I wouldn't even be shocked the next one he's like fucking superpowers or some shit, dude. They're setting it up. I'm like, what the hell? But like, it's so nice.
It's so nice, man. It's
so Paddington.
It is. It's so Paddington.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love the whole tone of the film too. Like it really felt like an adventure movie.
It did.
Like an Indiana Jones meets Paddington.
And I never thought it'd be a perfect combination. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. No. But it was like a perfect combination, sort of thing. Because I feel like if they would have went too far into the Indiana Jones, it would have lost the Paddington, like the charm. But it really didn't. No. Like, it was great. Like, there's a whole sequence, like, where he's getting chased by a boulder. That was awesome. Because, like, that boulder should not be moving in that direction, but it just works because it's Paddington. It's supposed to be funny and charming. Right. And I loved it.
It's got that like adventure movie type of action. Like there's some really good sequences throughout this film, but then it also has the heart that you expect from a Paddington film.
Exactly.
And I feel like there's a really good message about this, or like a kind of a cool like thematic concept. Just like how when people immigrate to a new country, like they leave part of themselves where they're from.
Yeah.
But then they adopt like a new version of themselves in their new place, but they still have that like kind of two identities.
Yeah.
And this movie kind of explores that a bit, and that's so cool.
Yeah.
And I love that line too. It's like, I'm British. I'm officially British.
As he holds up a cup of tea.
So good, man. He's got his fancy new passport.
I forgot. I love that scene. So I'm British. Oh, it's perfect.
I feel like we haven't really talked about Paddington himself. I mean, come on, man.
Oh, he's so good.
That's my goat.
He's my goat, too. You literally have him tattooed to your body, bro.
I do.
Dude, it's a good tattoo. Let me tell you, too, folks. It's so good. But no, he's so charming. Like, such a good protagonist. The voice, I know you know the voice actor right off heart. What's his name?
Ben Whishaw.
Ben Whishaw. He is so good. Like, he brings, like that level of, I guess you could say, levity and just charm to the character, like, tenfold.
Totally.
Like, if it wasn't him, he wouldn't nearly be as charming as he is. Mm-hmm. Like, because he has such a soft voice, but it's like a soft, innocent voice, but like, I don't know, he always just wants to do well. You can tell it in his voice, like, he's just a nice character, and I love it.
Totally.
He's so good.
It's iconic, like, as soon as you hear it. Like,
oh, yeah.
I swear, any role he's ever going to be in for the rest of his life, people will think, oh, it's Paddington.
It's Paddington, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. But here's a big question, Seamus, that we have to answer. We gotta rank the hard stairs here, because the hard stairs are in every movie. Ooh. We gotta rank them, bro. I was thinking about this. So, what are we thinking? Okay. I'm gonna put you on the spot and make you do it first.
Okay, I gotta say, I think first spot has to go with Paddington 2.
Yeah, I think
dude, with Knuckles McGinty, that is too iconic, man.
It's getting lost in here. What's going on?
It's like, pretty good for a bear.
They're pretty good for a bear.
I think it's too the fact that he's wearing like the chef's hat. Yeah. I don't know, that adds so much to it, and he looks really, really intense.
This movie though, he looks even more intense.
I gotta say, and then at second place, I'd put this film's hard stare. This one has like, this is a powerful heart stare.
It is.
Like, he makes people snap out of it with his heart stare.
He makes people snap out of generational trauma. It's crazy.
For real.
Antonio Banderas like breaking down. He's like, but I want the gold. And he just like looks over and he's just like staring him down. And he's just like, he's just like reconsidering every mistake he's made in his life in that moment.
It's true. You were talking about Paddington having special powers, man. Like, hard stare seems to get more powerful with every movie. So maybe that's his power.
He gets progressively more angry.
He's just gonna crash out eventually.
He is.
Yeah.
The first scene in the movie, the fourth one, will just be him doing that. Like, why did it take 5 years to get another one? But no, it's like great. But
and then Paddington 1, I'd put in third.
That one's great too, though.
Yeah,
it's a great setup.
It is a great.
It's like the Lord of the Rings trilogy, the setup, bro.
For real, man. They build it up, and some of those things they only use it once per movie. So like, there's a couple of times in Paddington 3 I was like, okay, the hard stairs coming,
and then it doesn't happen.
And then when it finally just happens, like, okay, this was the perfect usage of the hard stare. It's like,
literally,
this is stunning. What about you? What's your ranking? Where are you putting the
Bro, you hit it right on the nail. Like, it's the same as you.
Yeah?
Like, oh, absolutely. I considered putting 3 at 1 because it took me off guard. It was so funny, dude. And all of our people that we had with us were dying, dude.
You're right, though. It's probably the most intense one so far.
It is.
He looks pissed.
And I think that's what makes it so funny for me, dude. Like, I love it. Even though I think what makes it better is Knuckles in the second one, though, to make it the best one. He's like, what's going on? Like, he's like that dramatic, like, what's happening sort of thing. That's what makes it the best one.
And the fact that they had all that kind of squabble leading up to it, then it was just
Your Aunt Lucy sounds like the most immature. And it's just something else, but he's just like charging it up.
Naive.
What are you doing?
Dude, yeah.
Please see Paddington 2. If you take anything out of this video, please watch 2. At least.
It's so good.
It's so good. But I think with that, we have to answer the question, what are we giving out of 10? This is like this is a hard decision for me personally. I think for you too, but.
Frick, man, like, when I was at the start of the review, when we were talking about it, I'm thinking like an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
But the more I talk about it, the more like I remember like how much fun I had watching it. So I'll give it 8.5.
8.5. That's not bad though. 10. That's not bad.
I'll admit I am quite biased towards these movies, so like, but I had such a good time with it. Yeah. I was with my friends. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
I give it 8.5 out of 10.
I love it.
It's a delightful movie.
I'm not far off, man. I think I'd give it a 9 personally. Maybe just because maybe I need to see it again. You've seen it twice already. You saw it with your family last night, so like maybe I gotta go see it again. But like all the same things apply. Like it's just so charming. It was so fun. I had an amazing time. Like the only part I disliked about the movie, like really sitting down, was the people around us. Like that was it. Which we could make a whole other video about that. Holy crap! But like no, the movie was just fantastic. Like I genuinely had such a great time, and literally I have no complaints pretty much except for Sally Jones, and it misses a little bit of that whimsy, but like that's about it.
Yeah,
like, it's still great.
It's still a really, really fun movie.
Yeah, and probably the best movie that we're gonna get all month, I would say. I think.
I'm thinking so.
Yeah.
What else is coming out?
The Monkey.
Captain America. That'll probably be good.
We'll talk about that. We may have already seen that one. But no, like I think it will be. I think it's gonna make my top 10 personally.
Yeah,
I think it's just. Too. I think it's just one of those ones. Like,
good, man.
Gotta go in there,
right?
But anyways, if anyone else has seen Paddington 3 in the comments, let us know what you thought about it.
Yeah.
Give us a like if you liked this video. If you agree with our opinions, but we want to hear from you guys. Like we said, give us your ranking of the Paddington movies.
Yeah, let us know.
I'm interested because personally, I still like the second one more. Then the first, then the third. That's me right now.
I agree, yeah. 2, 1, 3.
I think that's going to be the most common rating. But I'm curious to see it in the comments. But like we said, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. We're going to see you in the next one, though.
Thanks for watching, guys.